Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. It's an overcast day today in paradise, but I just thought that I would bring some news to you, my friends. The British wants to destroy the Caribbean economies in a debt trap, my friends. Yes, the British wants to give out loans all of a sudden to the Caribbean island, masquerading as help that they're giving these Caribbean islands, my friends. Breaking news coming out of Bridgetown, Barbados. The British High Commission there to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean says the UK is prepared to help developing countries to get access to concessional loans. What does that mean, my friends? It means that the British is going to give loans to the Caribbean islands at high interest rates. And we know what loans do to small island states. And this is all because of this climate change thing that is going on, my friends. But I will read for you the story that is coming out of Barbados. The British, I'm going to read here for you and explain to you the debt trap that the United Kingdom, better known as the divided kingdom of Great Britain, want to bring to the Caribbean as help. This is how they say they're going to help us here in the Caribbean. They're not going to give us any grants, no reparations. They want to give us loans. I'm going to read here for you, my friends. This news article is saying the British High Commission to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Scott First Dunwood, says the United Kingdom is keen to find a more sophisticated way of determining how developing countries can access concessional financing. Fancy words. They want to find a sophisticated way to give Caribbean islands, nation, countries, loans. He said the first of which is the amount of money that is available, making sure that the money exists, it's there for countries to access. But perhaps even more importantly is this issue of how easy it is to access. This is what the man is saying, the High Commissioner to the British High Commissioner in Barbados to the Eastern Caribbean. We often hear from small island states in particular that the procedure for applying for funds from things like Green Climate Fund, that sometimes processes are too long. They are too long. So we're really keen to try to find ways to streamline a lot of those processes. This is what the diplomat says, noting that London has put a significant sum of money into the fund. They're just trying to confuse our minds with these fancy words. These fancy words that they're going to find sophisticated ways to help us. How can you help somebody with a loan? They're going to give us, you heard about the IMF loan and the World Bank loans, the debt trap that these colonial institutions normally set on developing countries. They're giving us loan to make money. That's how loans work. The British is going to give us money as a loan, and then they're going to give a high interest rate that keeps growing and growing, than loans that you could never pay back. And then that is how they're going to make money off the Caribbean islands. This article is saying, so we're really keen to ensure that we find more sophisticated way of doing that properly reflects the realities of that countries face. This is what the British diplomat is saying. He's going to find sophisticated ways to help us. Think about it. The British colonized these Caribbean islands for hundreds of years. They left us with nothing. Now all of a sudden they want to help us, but they're going to give us loans. They're going to do more sophisticated ways to create financing for us here in the Caribbean. We don't want no loans. We want grants. We want reparations. That could be a part of reparations. Climate change, all these loans that we have to get to build our what you call climate, make us climate resilient. But we have to go and borrow money for something that we didn't cause. Climate change is caused by pollution. Pollution by America, by Canada, by Europe. Those big countries, they pollute the atmosphere. And that is why we get more hurricanes, we get all this heat in the Caribbean. Climate change. So how are you going to say, after you would have damaged the environment, you're now going to say that you're going to lend us money to make money off of us to so that we can survive in this new climate that you would have damaged, my friends? That is what the British is telling us. He's saying, however, this article is saying, however, he said this is a decision for the Development Assistance Committee of the Paris-based Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. All long fancy words. The ambassador is saying we're using our membership and our voice there to try and argue for a change in the system so it's more fair. You all of a sudden, you want to lend a voice. You didn't know the system needed to change. The system is a British system. You created the system. So you know all the changes that need to be made. All the unfair systems you have in place to keep down the Caribbean islands. The British know. They are involved in it. So how are you going to create a system to keep us down, and now you're going to find some way to help us now? But you're saying you're giving us loans. This is what the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is saying to this. He would have suggested, the Honorable Ralph Gonzalez have suggested that some international development financiers have organized their affairs in such a way to put one region of developing countries against the other. So they're going to give some money, they're not going to give some no money. They're going to help some, they're not going to help some. So it's causing division in the region. And we don't need any loans from the United Kingdom at this time. We need what we call reparations. If you're watching me from the United Kingdom, we don't need your loans. We need reparations. Can you spell it? Reparations. We need grants. Grants for the inhumane treatment for hundreds of years. All the money you made in the Caribbean during slavery and colonialism. We need all that money back. Free money. That is what we need. We don't need your loans for you to make money, more money off of us. We don't need it. Ferdinand Wood, the British High Commissioner, said that Barbados Prime Minister has argued very powerfully that actually what's needed is some sort of wholesale reform of the international financial system. Yes, that were working in institutions which were put in place in the Second World War. These financial systems that's in place now, they were put in place during the First and Second World War, before these small Caribbean islands got their independence. We were under the British during that time, so they didn't even think of us during that time. So we are still working with all of these institutions that they put in place when our countries didn't exist. We didn't have independence in the Caribbean yet. All the Caribbean islands were under the British and the French when they were preparing these fancy financial systems and so. So these financial systems don't recognize us here in the Caribbean. And before they could reform those, they're giving us more and more loans from the IMF and the World Bank. This is what there's something called debt trap diplomacy. This is when countries give other countries a lot of money at high interest rates, knowing that they would never pay them off. So they end up owning that country, my friends. We don't want the United Kingdom to give us any loans so they can chop us for many decades more. This is the meaning of debt trap diplomacy. Debt trap diplomacy is a term to describe an international financial relationship where a creditor country or institution extend debt to a borrowing nation partially or solely to increase the lender's political leverage. So they're going to lend us money knowing that we can't pay them back, and then they come in and they control. They say, oh, you can't pay us back, so we need your politicians to do this and we need them to do that. We need them to support us in United Nations. We need this amount of land. We need our citizens to come to your country and do what they want, because we owe them and we can't pay them back the money that we owe them. So they can come into the country now and bribe our politicians, blackmail them, my friends. The creditor country is said to extend excessive credit to a debtor country with the intention of extracting economic and political concessions when the debtor country becomes unable to meet repayment obligations. The conditions of the loans are often not publicized. The borrowing of money commonly pays for the contractors and material source from the creditor country. And neo-colonialism, the term was first coined by Indian academic Brahma Cheleni in 2017 to extend that the Chinese government lend and then leverage the debt burden of smaller countries for geopolitical ends, my friends. The term debt trap diplomacy has entered the official lexicon of the United States with 2 successive administrations. So, my friends, the Chinese do it, the Europeans do it, and the Americans do it. They lend countries a lot of money knowing that they cannot pay back that loan, my friends. This is why I'm saying thanks but no thanks. And the governments in the Caribbean are not going to tell us the loan details. They're just going to say, oh, they got a loan. They're not even going to say anything. They're just going to go in and sign documents, and then we know we have this loan for 50 to 100 years that we can't pay back. And then we hear that whatever the British government want, whatever the US government want, we have to do because we owe them. That is what debt trap diplomacy is. And that is what the British is trying to do by lending us money. That is why they say they're going to create new sophisticated ways of financing the small island developing states, because they're going to trap us here in the Caribbean with debt. We're developing small island states, hardly any resources. Where are we going to find all this money to pay back all this debt from? What we need is free grants. If they want to help us here in the Caribbean, we need free grants. We need reparations. That will help us, not loans. So my friends, thank you for watching this video, and make sure to like this video, share it with all your friends and family, and comment on the video. Let me know your thoughts on this topic here for today, and share the video, and most importantly, please subscribe to my channel. We're over almost at 15,000 subscribers right now, on the road to 20,000 subscribers, because of your tremendous support. My name is Bjorn, and I'm in the Caribbean nation, Twin Island state of St. Kitts and Nevis, located in the Eastern Caribbean, my friends. And thank you for watching this video, and let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Like this video, share it with all your friends and family, and most importantly, please subscribe, and subscribe. I'll see you again in the next video. Much love. Bye bye.